Am I really about to spend more money on new release stuff? Yeah, I am. To those of you who might have missed it, I made this video earlier today where I bought and tested out the Zare crossbow, and I only lost 500 mil doing it. Now I want to make another video testing out another new thing that Nex, the new boss that came into old school RuneScape today, drops, and that is Torva. To those of you who played back in 2011-2012, Torva is the same concept. It is very beefy, it is best in slot melee strength, it's going to be very powerful. I'm going to go ahead and put the stats of Torva on screen right now for you guys to see, and immediately you can tell this stuff has pretty good strength bonus. The helm is +8, which is +2 over the current best in slot, which is the upgraded Neats helm. The plate body is +6, which is +2 over the current best in slot of the bandos chestplate, and the Torva plate legs are +4, which, notice a pattern here, are +2 better than the bandos tassets, which are the current best in slot, giving you a total of a +6 strength bonus increase. On top of that, the armor is just substantially more defensive than bandos, so it's just all around better. There is literally, as far as I'm aware, absolutely no downside to using this armor literally anywhere that you would have used bandos. Alright, we're committing. Alright, well, the helm isn't buying, so I guess I'll leave that buy offer in for now. The first thing I want to test is Slayer task anyway, so yeah, I guess we'll just do that. First thing you guys probably notice is that this Torva plate body is damaged. This is how it actually drops from Nex. You have to repair it by using bandos components. So I picked up this bandos chestplate for another 20 mil, and I'm going to go break it down at the furnace in the frozen stronghold. Yeah, just like that crossbow video, I'm probably going to lose at least another half bill on this video, but hopefully not. But again, if you want to leave a like in support of the potentially losing half a billion GP once again, please do. I would really appreciate it. It does ease the pain. I love making these videos. I just don't love the price tag that they come at. So it looks like you just use the bandos item here. Chestplates turn into 3 components, and then I think if I just... how do I do this? Do I use it? Do I smith it here? Yeah, okay, so I just smith it here. Alright, this is fairly simple. I'm glad I brought a hammer, because it looks like I need one. Am I going to get XP for this, just out of curiosity? 2,250? This is pretty good. It's definitely not worth it. It's pretty good. So while I'm waiting for that helm to buy, the first place that I'm going to end up testing this at is actually my Slayer task. So I don't need the helmet currently. Hopefully it buys by the time I'm done testing it here. Well, first things first, as is tradition, let's go ahead and test out some max hits here. Alright, now bearing in mind that I would have 2 higher strength bonus if I had the, wow, this looks really awkward without the Torva full helm. Again, it's just not buying. I just want to see what I would get with this max strength gear right now. Oh, never mind, the Torva full helm bot. Let's just go put that on. Perfect timing, it was literally like clockwork. Right as I was about to swing for the max hits, the Torva full helm bot. So I now have the full set, and I spent so much money on this. I'll show you guys all that at the end of the video when I sell it back. Alright, so let's go ahead and do some comparisons. First of all, this is the full Torva with the Scythe, and of course this is a 1x1, so the Scythe isn't going to be super amazing here, but the main max hit is a 49. Compare that to the previous best in slot strength gear, and it goes down to a 48. With the Scythe, it's multiple max hits though, so it's a little bit different. Now let's go ahead and try that with a one-handed weapon. I'm going to use the rapier. I mean, all the one-handed weapons of this tier have the same max hit. Previous best in slot gear is a 53. With Torva, however, you hit a 55. And this is where it's going to get really gross. Slayer task with a Scythe, you can hit a 54. Slayer task with a rapier, you can hit a 61. That is... 61? That's gross. That is disgusting. Well, the first place I was going to test this was going to be on my Slayer task, but since the helm bot, I figure I might as well go ahead and try it at the Chambers of Zare. It's been about a year since I've done a solo raid, so excuse the fact that this is probably going to go terribly, but I still want to see how it compares to bandos here. Alright, I have found myself a not that crazy raid to do, but again, keep in mind, I haven't done a raid in a long time, and I have never done a raid with Crystal Armor, a Bofa. This is going to be kind of awkward, but let's go ahead and try it anyway. Just curious if I'm going to notice any max hit differences here. There should be. I mean, there's a 49 already. That's not bad at all. 56? Okay. All right. Like I said, it's been a while, so I might be freaking out over things that aren't even necessarily max hits. But I can't say that I've ever seen a 56 without an overload on Guardians. I don't even know if I've seen a 56 with overload on Guardians. So it turns out that hidden skilling room was an ice demon, which I messed up a lot. So we're going to stop looking at the total raid time, and we're just going to start looking at the hits of the Torva with the lance. After finishing Muta, I still have 6 brews. 6 brews is probably enough to do a no prep raid for someone who's experienced, but it's been a year, so I don't know. Let's see how this goes. So I surprised myself by finding out I still know how to sync into the 4-to-1 cycle. I didn't hit any Warhammers on this, which of course has nothing to do with the Torva. The Warhammer is just not always incredibly accurate here. But I noticed immediately that I was hitting pretty high, pretty consistently. Now, of course, Torva here is not going to make or break your solo raids. It's not going to be the biggest game changer in the world. But like I said before, it's going to offer 1 to 2 max hits, maybe even a little bit more with the multiplier of the lance. And that is going to shave off a couple of seconds here and there. Something else that I noticed is that because of Torva's increased defense compared to bandos, I was actually taking a lot more of the range hits than I normally would in my solo raids. So, I mean, it's kind of minor, but again, it's something worth noting, and there's a 60, so that's pretty nice. Was there ever any doubt in your mind that I was going to be able to do this? Probably not. Honestly, I didn't notice too much of a difference with the Torva here, but then again, it's only going to be like 1 or 2 max hits. It's not going to be anything too crazy here. You're more likely to notice it on things like Slayer tasks, which is exactly what I want to try next. Something where I'm more comfortable using the Scythe. Luckily for me, I actually have a fairly decent Slayer task to try this out at, and that is the Gargoyles. I'm going to be going over to the Grotesque Guardians and seeing how this performs on task in max strength with Scythe, because that's where we're probably going to notice the most substantial differences. Alright, here we go. Let's go ahead and test this bad boy out. 52 off the rip is already pretty nuts. That's another pretty big spec. Wow. Okay, so I just 3-shot that phase. I mean, maybe that's not that crazy. I'm not too accustomed to using a Scythe, but that last hit was pretty freaking insane, to be honest, man. Ah, and I forgot a Rock Hammer. I cannot believe I forgot a Rock Hammer. I can definitely see Torva being a lot more noticeably useful at places like this, where you're regularly using the Scythe, because you're going to get several max hits as opposed to just 1. Unfortunately, I didn't really get any hits much crazier than that set, but still hitting overall pretty well. Alright, now I really want to test this out, the claws. Feel like these will be just absolutely busted. I'm hoping anyway. Alright, 450 XP drop. Second one wasn't as good. Alright, so again, nothing super insane there. I'll try another kill and see if maybe it shapes up a little bit. Alright, claws, let's see what you got this time. Claws are another thing that I really didn't mention are going to benefit pretty heavily from Torva, because just like the Scythe, they're going to be getting several max hits, so another thing worth noting. I mean, right there, it looked like I absolutely melted that thing, which I did, but the Claws and Scythe on their own are incredibly powerful. Torva's just helping that a little bit, so I wouldn't really encourage anyone to go out right now and blow your bank on this, but it's definitely a really good long-term goal, since it's just better bandos. In case anyone was curious, though, the max hit with Claws on task is pretty freaking disgusting. Max hit with Claws on task is that, what is that, like a freaking 98? Almost 100 damage. Yeah, that's a lot. So the potential is definitely there. That is pretty gross. In typical Dabe testing new item fashion, we of course have to go to the God Wars dungeon and try something there. So we did bandos with the crossbows. Let's go ahead and try Xami with the Torva. Like I've been mentioning, this armor is also just really nice because it does just straight up have a lot more armor than bandos does. I don't know why it has so much more armor, but that's going to be really helpful for things like solo Xami, which we're doing right now. Let's see if that defense bonus is strong enough to tank Xami, though, because I don't know. Also, I'm using the Blood Fury here just for ease of soloing purposes, but let's go ahead and try this out. Just going to go ahead and immediately dump the claw specs. See what we got. Pretty bad one. That was a pretty good one. I mean, that kill felt pretty fast. I'm not really sure what I'm comparing it to necessarily, but it felt good to me. Oh, 534 XP claw spec. That was pretty nuts. I mean, that one felt pretty decent as well. I mean, these kills aren't going slow, but there's one more place I want to test this, which unfortunately isn't TOB because it's kind of late and I couldn't find a team of friends to go with me. But there's one place I want to test this that I think a lot of you guys haven't really thought about. Some of you might have guessed it. That's right, Vork. I think that this armor is going to be pretty nuts at Vork because a lot of people already opt for the Bandos Dragon Hunter Lance method. This gives you more defense, more strength bonus, more max hits. It's just all around straight up better here. Let's go ahead and try out some kills and see how it goes. 64 off the rip, dude. Wow. Oh, had like 1 HP left. Very, very close to just finishing off before the third special there. This feels disgustingly powerful, dude. I'm taking very, very little damage, which of course could be, you know, just random chance. But 1 minute 35 seconds on the first kill. Pretty good. 144, another not a bad kill. There it is. It felt pretty good. 126. And that one was with no specs and a bunch of noodling at the beginning, too. Let's see some big claw specs. Come on. 6-2 is pretty bad. 7-1. Nothing great on the claws. Hoping to, like, smash out a sub 1 minute kill or something ridiculous. Do it right here. Yo, that was definitely a very, very good kill. Yeah, 118. And that's with 2 bad claw specs. You know, I think I'm gonna really start liking Vork because I'm probably gonna have to be here a lot to make back all the money that we're about to lose selling this Torva back. So let's go ahead to the Grand Exchange and do everybody's favorite part of the video. Seeing how much financial pain I'm gonna be in when I sell this. You know, I don't think this one is gonna be as bad as the other one. Everything sold back pretty much instantly. I spent 1.534, I'll just write it in the chat over here. I spent 1.534 billion gold on this. So let's go ahead and collect and see how much we got back. 1402. So you know what? What's that? 132 mil loss, right? I mean, it's not that bad for a testing video. It could be way, way worse. Torva, I think, should stable out, honestly. Probably not too far from the prices that it's at now, or at least that's kind of where I'm hoping it's going to be. Imagine it'll dip with time as more people do next, but like I said, the armor is fantastically good. It's incredibly useful anywhere you're going to use bandos because it is just outright better in every single regard. The problem with it is, it's just expensive right now. So, save your money, but buy it soon. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video and the copious financial losses that come with it, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps a lot, and I'll see you guys next time.